You are standing in the kitchen, listening to the same argument for the third time this week. Your chest feels tight, a physical weight pressing against your ribs as you absorb their frustration, their disappointment, their chaotic energy. You feel the urge to fix it, to smooth the edges, to offer your own peace as a bandage for their wound. But then, something shifts. A quiet click happens behind your eyes. The urgency evaporates. You realize with terrifying clarity that you no longer care if they are upset. You don't hate them. You aren't angry. You are simply done. And in that silence, you discover a power you didn't know you possessed. If this channel has helped you understand yourself even a little better, please hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps more people find this content who need it. For years, you were told that your sensitivity was a gift, but also a burden. You believed that caring deeply was your primary function in every relationship. But here is what most people misunderstand about the empathic journey. The ultimate stage of healing is not learning to care more efficiently. It is learning when to stop caring entirely. When an empath withdraws their emotional labor, they do not become cold. They become sovereign. This video explores why the moment you stop absorbing other people's chaos is the moment you finally reclaim your life. The first sign of this transformation is the sudden death of cognitive dissonance. For years, your nervous system was stuck in a loop of trying to reconcile the person they claimed to be with the pain they inflicted on you. You exhausted yourself building bridges over chasms they dug intentionally. But when you stop caring, the bridge collapses. And here's the twist. You don't try to rebuild it. You watch it fall. This isn't cruelty. It is the prefrontal cortex finally overriding the trauma response. You are no longer investing energy in a fantasy. That is not indifference. That is clarity. The mental fog lifts because you have stopped fueling the illusion with your own empathy. Biologically, empaths have hyperactive mirror neurons. You literally feel what others feel. It is a neurological reality, not just a metaphor. But here is where the real danger begins for those who rely on your empathy. When you learn to deactivate this system, you begin to observe emotions rather than inhabit them. You see their anger as data, not as a command to soothe them. This shift is paralyzing to manipulators because their control depends on your reactivity. By refusing to mirror their chaos, you break the circuit. You become a black hole to their drama. Nothing escapes, nothing returns. You are no longer a participant in their emotional theater. You are an audience member who has decided to leave the show. Society will tell you that withdrawing your care is selfish. They will call you cold, detached, or broken. But here is a fun fact that genuinely blew my mind. Research on emotional regulation shows that chronic self-sacrifice leads to systemic inflammation and immune suppression. Your body was literally destroying itself to keep others comfortable. When you stop caring, you are engaging in radical self-preservation. You are choosing biological integrity over social approval. That is not a flaw. That is information. Your body is telling you that the cost of connection was too high. By honoring that signal, you transform from a resource to be mined into a sanctuary to be protected. You are forging a boundary that is not made of walls, but of worth. Now here's the part that makes this genuinely dangerous to certain people. Gaslighting requires your doubt to work. It needs you to question your reality so they can insert theirs. But when you stop caring about their opinion of you, gaslighting loses its oxygen. You no longer need them to validate your experience because you have validated it yourself. Their narratives bounce off you like rain off a waterproof coat. You see the manipulation for what it is, a tactic, not a truth. This immunity is terrifying to narcissists because they can no longer hook into your insecurity. You have become untouchable, not because you are hard, but because you are whole. You have stopped looking for water in a desert. Here's where it gets really interesting. The energy you used to spend analyzing their texts, predicting their moods, and managing their ego does not disappear. It returns to you. This is the concept of sovereign energy. It is the power that comes from knowing you are complete without external validation. You start to create, to rest, to dream again. The exhaustion that defined your existence for years begins to lift, replaced by a quiet, humming vitality. You are no longer drained by the emotional labor of performing stability for unstable people. You are finally free to direct your profound capacity for feeling toward things that nurture you rather than things that deplete you. So here is the truth nobody tells you. The most powerful version of you is not the one who loves the hardest. It is the one who loves themselves enough to walk away. You spent years believing that your value was tied to your utility, to how much pain you could absorb without breaking. But you were never meant to be a sponge. You were meant to be the ocean. Vast, deep, and untouched by the storms on the surface. When you stop caring about keeping everyone else afloat, you finally learn how to swim. That is not betrayal. That is birth. You are birthing a self that is no longer defined by who needs you, but by who you are. And here is the final truth that changes everything. You do not lose your empathy when you stop caring about the wrong people. You refine it. You save it for those who respect it. You save it for yourself. If you are in that quiet place right now, where the noise has stopped and the guilt is fading, know that you are safe. You are not broken. You are becoming. Which of these signs of detachment resonated most with your journey? Have you ever experienced this shift from exhaustion to sovereignty? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. If this message brought you peace, share it with someone who is still carrying the weight of the world. Help them find their way back to themselves.